Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kumar HN, Department of Information Science and Engineering, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today I am going to explain you about web technology and its applications. First, let me tell you about what is web technology. The way computer devices communicate with each other using markup languages. Example for markup languages are HTML and XML. HTML is hypertext markup language and XML is extensive markup language. Now let's get into today's my topic, that is objects included in JavaScript. So what is object? Object is a standalone entity with properties and type. Let's tell you about this by taking a cup as example. A cup is an object with properties. A cup has a color, has a design, has a weight, and it's a material it is made of, etc. These are some properties of that object cup. The same way, JavaScript objects can have properties which define their characteristics. They are The objects included in JavaScript are array, boolean, date, math, string, DOM objects. These are the objects in JavaScript. So let's get into the small introduction about objects. JavaScript is an incredibly versatile programming language that allows developers to create dynamic and interactive web pages. One of the key features that makes JavaScript so powerful is its use of objects. Objects allow developers to organize and manipulate data in a way that is both intuitive and efficient. Now comes the introduction part, and these arrays are very strong objects in JavaScript. In JavaScript, everything is an object. This means that even simple data types like strings and numbers can be treated as object with properties and methods that can be accessed and manipulated. Understanding how to work with object is essential for anyone looking to become proficient in JavaScript development. To become a JavaScript developer, he need to understand these objects correctly and he need to know how to work with these objects, and it is very essential to know the objects in JavaScript. Now let's see one by one. Array. In JavaScript, an array is a collection of values that can be accessed using an index. Arrays can be used to store any type of data, including strings, numbers, and objects. One common use case for arrays is to store lists of items, such as names or numbers. Another use case is to represent matrices or grids of data. When working with arrays, it's important to follow best practices to ensure efficient and effective code. To write a effective code in JavaScript, that too in arrays, we need to know this array, the collection of values of and everything we need to know correctly. And it's in the form of index in JavaScript. One best practice when working with arrays is to use the array methods provided by JavaScript such as push, pop, shift, and unshift. These methods allow you to add or remove elements from any array without having a manually reason indexes. Another best practice is to use array literals instead of the constructor, as this can lead to unexpected behavior when dealing with sparse arrays. So here we have seen that push, pop, shift, and unshift. Here push is used to add and pop is used to remove, and shift and unshift is having their different specifications. Now what do we need to use array? Array is a variable which can hold more than one value at a time. If you have a list of items, example car names, storing the cars in a single variable could look like this, that is, let car1 equal to Benz, car2 equal to Audi, car3 equal to BMW. However, what if you want to loop through though the cars and find a specific one? And what if you had not 3 cars but 300? The solution is an array. So here we have 3 cars. So it's looking quite easy. But if you have 300 cars, so at the time what we need to do? So at the time we can go through this concept of array. An array can hold many values under a single name. So that's what I am telling. See here, three cars are there, so I can easily identify three cars. Suppose if I have 100 or 300 cars, then how can I get the required car at a time? So for that we can go through this array concept. And here we can see the creation of an array. So using an array, literal the easiest way to create a JavaScript array. So here in JavaScript we can easily create an array. The syntax for this array is const array name equal to item1, item2, and the index will go on. So here syntax means what? Syntax is the rules to write a code, and we can use this syntax to create many number of arrays. And it is common practice to declare arrays with the constant keyword. So in JavaScript we need to use the keyword constant. So by using this keyword we have created array for cars, constant cars equal to Benz, Audi, BMW, and so on. We can add Hyundai and Volvo and other cars which are there in our current world. So we can add all those cars in the car list. So now we can easily get that, fetch that cars by giving the index numbers like cars of 0. I mean we are having cars of 0. At position 0 we have Benz, and at position 1 we have Audi, and at position 2 we have BMW. So like this by using the index values we can easily fetch the data from the array. Now let's see into the one more object, that is boolean. In JavaScript a boolean is a data type that represents either true or false. It's an essential concept in programming and is commonly used in conditional statements to determine the flow of code execution. Here this sentence will clearly tells that either true or false. At that situation we will use this boolean. For example, we have taken here like boolean 10 greater than 9. So here the output will be whether it's true or false. 10 is greater than 9, it's true obviously. So like that we can get easily whether the given condition is true or false. We can see in all the programming languages we use if else statements. There it clearly tells whether it's true or false. Like that the code will go on. That same concept will be used in this JavaScript language also. That's for boolean. And here one more object is date and math. The date object in JavaScript is used to work with dates and times. It provides methods for creating, getting, and setting dates, as well as for performing mathematical operations on them. Basically we use JavaScript in web development and for functioning of the web page. So here in that web pages obviously the date is very important. So for that we use this date and math operation, math objects. The math object, on the other hand, provides a set of mathematical functions that can be used to perform complex calculations in JavaScript. These includes functions like math.round, which rounds a number to the nearest integer, and math.random, which generates a random number between 0 and 1. Here we have taken two example like math.round and math.random. Like in we use a C like in hash include std math.h, where we get the all the header files related to mathematics. Like that here also we have math.random, math.round, and etc. Here math.random will be used to fetch the random number from 0 to 1. And the JavaScript math object allows you to perform mathematical tasks on numbers. It's all related to numbers. Like here math.py, we want pi value. Everyone knows the value of 5, that is 3.14, and so on, like 15, like this is the value of pi. By using math dot, suppose we want one number, like that by giving that syntax we can get the value of that value. And the string, this is one of the major and important object in every object oriented language. In JavaScript a string is a sequence of characters that is enclosed in quotes. It can contain letters, numbers, symbols, and white space. Strings are important in programming because they allow us to represent and manipulate text based data. For example, we can use strings to store user input, display messages on a web page, or format dates and items. So when we open a web page, we see many things in the form of strings. So we can clearly get that point that string is a very important object in JavaScript. Any language, not only JavaScript, in any of the language, the string is the main important concept. And there are many ways to work with strings in JavaScript. We can concatenate two or more strings together using the plus operator, access individual characters using bracket notation, or search for specific substrings using methods like index of and substring. It's important to remember that strings are immutable, which means the created it cannot be changed. So once the string created, it cannot be changed. We must create a new string, and we need to in such a way that next time we need to do any modifications like that, we need to create the strings. And JavaScript strings are for storing and manipulating text. A JavaScript string is zero or more characters written inside quotes. Let text equal to John Doe. You can use single or double quotes. So in some languages we need to use double quotes, but here we can use single quotes also. Example, let car number Volvo XC60. Here we have used double quotes, and next line we have let car name to equal to Volvo X60. Here we have used single quotes, and it's clearly mentioned there. To find the length of a string, we use a built-in length property. Like let text equal to the in double quotes we have written the alphabets, that is A to Z, and the length we can get the length of that entire alphabets by giving text dot length. And it's a last object in JavaScript is DOM objects. The document object model is a programming interface for web documents. It represents the page so that programs can change the document structure, style, and content. The DOM represents the document as nodes and objects. That way, programming languages can interact with the page. So here, this DOM model is used for web documents. Like it will represent the page and programs, and it can change the document structure, style, and content according to the different documents. And one of the most important objects in the DOM is the element object. This represents an HTML element like body or paragraph. With the element object, you can manipulate the element's attributes and properties, add and remove classes, and even modify its content. Other important objects include the node list object, which represents a list of nodes, and the event object, which represents an event triggered by the user. So the all the objects in JavaScript has covered in this session, and I conclude this video here by telling like JavaScript is a basically used for web development, and nowadays more the people are using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for web development. Here HTML will follow, like HTML can give a like structure of the web page, like how human skeleton is there, that equals to HTML. And design, the humans, different humans are having different faces, different color, like that everyone having their own unique characters like that. By using CSS according to our needs, we can design our web page. This JavaScript mainly used to function. If you want to log in or sign up for main functioning parts, we use this JavaScript. This is the conclusion of this video, and thank you. If you like this video, like, and if you want to tell anything, you can tell in comment box. And if you find it very informative, you share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Jai Hind.